I'm Amber from the training tool. Welcome to Fitness Friday. Yay! So recently I was working with someone who had a pretty significant injury and had to have some surgery done on her leg, and she came to me just to get some ideas for working out. And I thought about it and I said, you know, most of us have been injured. Pretty much all of us are what we call not neutral and not balanced in our bodies. So one of the things I like to encourage people to do is to find those weaknesses that you have in your body and begin to work on them and try to balance it out as much as you can. So if you've had a pretty significant injury, if you've had surgery, if you've gone through any time period where you couldn't use a part of your body due to your injury, you probably had a little bit of muscle atrophy with that. And also what happens is your brain talks to your muscles differently when you go through something like that. So you have to get your muscle or your brain back talking to those muscles. So for instance, like I currently am suffering with a knee injury. There's definitely some atrophy in this leg, and although I haven't had surgery yet, I still have to work on trying to keep my body as balanced as possible with this knee injury. So I find that I lead with my left side now. I do everything. So if you told me, okay, Amber, step up on this step, I'm automatically going to lead with this left leg because that's my stronger leg at the moment. This one's not injured and it's ready to rock. But I really have to think to get that right leg to go up. I really have to think about those muscles working to get them to go. So think about what you might have done and think about the muscles that are surrounding that area. See if you aren't leaning more to one side, or if you don't use that one side to pick up things and to grab things more often. And now what I want you to do is try to balance that out. So it's easy to show you with a leg injury. What I had my client do is just to start to think about putting up her weaker leg, the leg she had surgery on, and then coming down on that leg. And every time I told her, step up, think in your mind, turn on the quad, and then slowly control it back down. So quad work every time she stepped on. Then I said, think about your glute, turn on that glute, make that glute work as you step up. So if you've had a leg injury, you can start on a very small step. Don't do anything really high yet. Just do something small and start to get your mind working with those muscles because they've been turned off for a while and we got to turn them back on. If you've had an upper body injury, you might need to do that with a weight. So you may want to grab a weight. Let's say you had an elbow injury. Now, of course, start small and then just think about all of the muscles that surround the elbow. So I'm going to squeeze and work that bicep and make that bicep work. So tighten up through the bicep. I'm going to put my mind into that muscle and make it fire. Sometimes you even have to touch it and just kind of turn it on or say, okay, squeeze there. Also think about in the forearm. So you could do some seated wrist curls with your weights to strengthen those forearm muscles. And of course, we've got to go the opposite way. And then in the back, you've got your tricep. So you've got to do a little squeeze back through there. A little tricep press, squeeze. And just work that one side at a time. Now, you've got your shoulder joint and your shoulder muscles there, but it doesn't hurt you to kind of work those one at a time. Because look at this. Even though this is a shoulder exercise, my elbow has to work, and all those muscles stabilizing my elbow have to help me keep that weight in alignment here as I go through the movement. So just a couple of suggestions if you've had an injury. Start to work just on that one side and do a little work with your mind getting into the muscle. So if you have any questions or you need some exercise ideas, I always have something that can help. So you can shoot me an email, thetrainingtool@hotmail.com. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week.